Talking of Harry Kane then, shall we hear from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because he's been having his say on the England captain?
Of course, he's got undeniable quality, and I think he leads the line, he's the captain, so he's probably the first person people look at, to kind of criticise. But for me, he's done it consistently for a few seasons now, so I've got no doubt that he'll perform on the big stage.
So that was Dominic Calvert-Lewin speaking yesterday and giving his full backing to Harry Kane, who still yet to get off the mark. Cass, how worrying is that?
I wouldn't be too concerned if I was an England fan. I think there's more to come from Harry. You only have to look at his record, international and club level. As a goal scorer, you're going to have times when it drops off and you're not performing like we all know you can. I think Harry's fine. I say that because a lot of England fans have got frustrated with this England team at the moment and think there's not enough. It doesn't really matter. It matters now when you get to the knockout stages.
Yeah.
They were always going to get out of the group, I felt. They had enough. It hasn't worked perfectly, but they haven't conceded a goal. They've played all their games at home. They got the next one at home. I would be more positive than negative about England. And Harry, if he gets given a chance, I'm sure he hasn't had too many chances. Occasions is what he thrives off of. He hasn't had too many in this competition so far.
There are some positives, as you pointed out, to get out of this group, to come through it unbeaten, 7 points from their 3 games, as you say, haven't conceded a goal as well. So on paper, it looks good. But in terms of the performances over 90 minutes, over these 3 games, I mentioned it a little bit before, they haven't exactly blitzed their opponents. They've had spells, don't get me wrong.
Doesn't matter now at the moment. Doesn't matter. It's about getting out of your group. And they've shown some signs in some games. Scotland were very, very good against England. They put up a really incredible performance physically, which they paid a price for, in my opinion, after they lost to Croatia, because I always felt, you've got to do that. You've got to do it again against Croatia. And, Scotland were heroic on the night. And England, I was at Wembley. It was a very wet, difficult conditions to try and create. The one thing I'd just go back on, and slightly, probably a final word on this, Harry Kane is not quite as good as he once was, because there was a time when he could create his own chances and score. I think that's surpassed him now. I think he's more needy of other players to create opportunities for him, which most forward need anyway. I just don't. There was a period where I always felt Kane could go do something from a moment and stick it in the top corner. I don't think he's quite that at this point of his career, but he's still a terrific forward. And he'll still get loads and loads of goals. Just
very quickly and just lastly on this, I know you keep saying, do not worry, it's all about what happens now. And I get that. But obviously coming into this tournament, there was so much talk about this wonderful forward sort of talent that we have. In fact, talent across the whole squad, let's say. They haven't quite lit up the tournament. Do you think other people will be looking, other nations will be looking, thinking, well, what's all the fuss about these England players? Because they're not really doing it over a course of 90 minutes.
I guarantee you, other nations will be far more positive about England than the England fans and the English media, because they will look at England and say, hey, they haven't conceded a goal.
Yeah.
They've been tricky to beat. They're a tough side to play against. They'd be very aware of what England can do. So other nations will be far positive about England than the England fans would be.
Well, Tuesday night then, it all comes down to that for that first knockout game for England, taking on the old foes, the old rivals of Germany, and it is live, of course, here on talkSPORT.